Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Tepang Mwalusi. I'm known on Instagram as tj.mwalusi, Tepang_m on TikTok, and those are the only two platforms that I'm on besides YouTube. It's been a while, I know, but I'm back. I don't know for how long. I can't promise, only God knows. And I'm back with a different video this time around. I'm sure you can see through the title that there's good news, but I just want to get deep into it, give you details on how it came about. But before anything, it's honestly by the grace of God. Miracles do happen, and I just want to leave you guys with a word before we get into the video. Sometimes you do not need to see the vision. You don't even need to trust it. You don't even need to plan ahead. You just need to come as you are, as unready as you are, as unprepared as you may be. And it's in that manner that God is able to guide you, direct you, be your light, and be able to actually show you how great He can be. So without dragging it, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please do subscribe. We are sitting on 1,000 something, which is okay because your girl had been gone forever. It's been over a year of me being gone, and I'm slowly trying to make my way back. And I hope you guys actually do love the content. Not overthought this time around, coming as I am. And yeah. So the video is going to be divided into sections just so you are able to jump to the timestamp that you preferably want to focus on. But I would appreciate it if you watch the entire video. We do not yet have ads playing on our channel, so watching the entire video and actually commenting and liking is what will help your girl's channel to grow. And thank you once more for coming back, or even for joining us. So the video is about how I got to buy my apartment, and as an opening statement, I just want to say it was a very long process, but I've learned a lot from it, and I'm very grateful that it happened the way it did. As much as then it didn't feel like it, but I'm very grateful that it happened the way it did, because I've learned, I've seen, I've heard, I've understood what to do, what not to do, and I trust that with what I now know, or what I was told and taught, I will be able to direct other people to focusing on specific things, to understanding particular things when purchasing property. But nonetheless, we did it at the age of 24, and I still repeat, it's by the grace of God. Before I get into it, because I've divided it into steps, and the first step is actually going to be the search of the property. Let me go grab myself a cup of cappuccino, get warm, and come talk to you guys. I'm back. So now that I have my cappuccino, my hug in a mug, we can continue with the video. First off, we are going to talk about the search for the property. So when I started looking for the property, initially I just wanted a property that I could rent. I wasn't really looking into buying, and I'll tell you why. It's because I didn't think I afforded to purchase property. Growing up, it has always been a misconception of like you need to have a lot of money to buy property. And the moment you start hearing like 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 700,000, it sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money. We do not fall under the same bracket of tax. So yeah, what's a lot to me might be nothing to you, and vice versa. So my search for property was merely just looking for a place to rent, And yeah, and then it happened that uh, I stumbled on what, two, no, three properties. One, unfortunately, a tenant came in and he or she beat me at it. I couldn't get to even view the place. And then I went to another place, and this place was available for sale and for rental. It was very spacious, but it honestly was not fitting my aesthetic. And that's the reason why I didn't go for it. And it was far more pricey, or in fact, not far off from what I bought. I just still believed that I was incapable of spending that amount of money or even being approved for a bond for that kind of money. So I let it go. And also, I had to consider places that are close to my current office because I've been begging God to give me a new job, and I don't think He's ready to move me. So I might as well just get a place that's going to be convenient for me to go to work. So the third place is the place that I bought, and I went there still looking for a place that I could rent. And I then found out it was also available for rental and for sale. Viewed it the first time. Honestly, I was not happy with the agent, but something just forced me to go view it. I remember it was a Friday evening, tired coming from work. My appointment was for 5 o'clock, and I had to wait for the agent until 6:30. But I stood there and I viewed the place, and I was happy with the place. It was not at its in its best condition, but I liked it. I just don't know why. The moment I walked inside that door, it just felt like home. And this place that felt like home was smaller than the other places that I got to view, even the one that was also available for sale. But then I had a conversation with the agent, and yeah, one thing led to another. So the things that I use to search for the property, it's your common ones. Property 24. I checked private property. Honestly, private 24 is very, very clustered. I don't know how to put it. I know it's possible to filter it out and view specific things only, but I find it as a tedious thing to use. It's a tedious site for me. It's perfect for when you're looking for property in specific places. It's for me, Pam Golding that didn't go to private school. I don't know if you get me, but if you've been in the market, then you'll get my point. Because Pam Golding is cleaner. Yeah. And private property, very clean, very nice, easy to work with. Agents are responsive and so on. And the one that I purchased, I found it on Home Traders. I didn't know about a site called Home Traders. I literally just went on Google and searched apartments near me for sale, and Home Traders popped up. So, it being a new thing to me, I decided to view it. And that's how I found the place. So, yeah, that's what happened. And went to view the first time. I viewed it alone, and I asked the agent to book me for a second viewing, and the second time I went with someone. And the reason for this is I did research before, or rather, even during the search for the property, because I got to understand online and through other people's experiences that what you see as a person who's searching for property is most of the time different from what a second eye or the third eye would possibly see. You wouldn't see that the glass is cracked, you wouldn't see that the stove doesn't work, because you are just excited about seeing that space being yours and whatnot. So the first time I went alone, the second time I went with someone, and this is how I discovered that the property indeed had some maintenance that it needed to get done, that also needed some attention. And this was raised on the second visit, or rather viewing. And yeah, I was still comfortable with the place even the second time I went to view it. Actually, I viewed the place 4 times. The first time, the second time with the second person, the third time I viewed it along with the same person I went with the second time I viewed. And this is when I was actually proceeding to the next step of getting to have the property. On the day of viewing the second time, I was a bit intimidated. There were other people who were there because a lot of people wanted the place. Um, and it's not even about the place, it's about the estate that the place is in. So I wouldn't say it's luxurious, but I always tell my family that I don't know, it's just the words that make it sound luxurious. The fact that an estate has golf in it, it screams expensive, even if it's not. Yeah, literally. So that's what happened. And now I'm gonna move to part two of this video, which is about when I went to view the place the third time and the fourth time, and when I got to sign an OTP, what is an OTP, and everything that follows on. So I then went the second time, and I went the third time, and this is when we started speaking about an OTP. There was someone who had already signed the offer to purchase. So an OTP is an offer to purchase. It's a document that's legal, which is afforded to you as the buyer and seller by the managing agent for the both of you to sign. Firstly, signed by the seller to indicate that this is their property and they are selling it for this much. And then you have to sign in agreement to that as the purchaser. But there's a lot more things that are involved in completing an OTP than just agreeing. So I then signed the OTP even after the agent said someone else had submitted their offer to purchase. And I was just crossing my fingers. I prayed so much. I prayed. But at the same time, I was praying. I didn't have the hope that I would get the place because looking at my bank account and my salary, ma'am, how? You don't afford it. So it was submitted to the seller. And then this is when God took over the wheel because I gained confidence of why is it when we go to Joburg, we are able to negotiate that we want to buy a pair of jeans that goes for 400 rands for 250, and the seller is able to say yes, but I cannot negotiate to buy an apartment with the price that I want. Try me, girl. Try me. And after signing the OTP, um, it came to reality that I need to start working now. Because I'm in panic mode, I think they're gonna give it to the next person because they are offering the exact amount that the seller is asking for, and I already assume that I don't afford even being approved for that amount of money. I then do more research and I find out that it's possible to negotiate with the seller to reduce the selling price. And I tried my luck. And then, because I had seen property concerns with maintenance and so on, and by me saying maintenance, it might sound like I'm downplaying it, but it's cracks in the wall, it's things that were not working, it's like plugs and so on. I then use those things to my advantage and to my advantage. And then I spoke to the agent and told them, listen, I really love the place, but I don't think I'm comfortable with the price that the seller is asking for. Is it possible for us to go down by 60,000 rands? This was a brave move. And trust you me when I say God had the wheel, because without hesitance, the seller approved and they declined the other person's offer, and only to find that the person was yet to withdraw their OTP because their banker said they don't really afford to buy the property. So the seller agreed. Sorry. The seller agreed. Let's say for example purposes or for the sake of sharing um, information, let's say the property was going for 200,000. Um, so I then negotiated to have the place go for 140,000. So yeah, they approved. And much as it may have been a big loss to them, I don't know how much of a loss it was, but the seller agreed, and the beautiful lady just was very, very, very pleasant. And she signed the OTP, I signed the OTP, and this is where I made my first mistake. So when signing the OTP, they put down the price of the property, of how much they are selling it for. Then, say for instance, they still had the 200,000 on the OTP. I signed it, and this is when I negotiated to take it 60K down. And then I signed my second OTP with her, and it was now at 140K. And then I have to now be in communication with someone who would do bank applications on my behalf, because I thought I could do it by myself. And the only bank that I approached was ABSA and Standard Bank. Standard Bank had a very good rate. They were trying to actually buy me, as much as I was already their client. Word on the street has it that if you are trying to get a loan from a bank and you are not their client, they would give you the loan at a better rate than the bank that you are a client of. Why? Because they want to steal you to become their client. But I was already Standard Bank's client, and they gave me a very good offer. It's just the interest was, I mean, they didn't give me full bond. Yeah, they didn't give me the full amount. So I declined that, and I also approached ABSA, and ABSA gave it to me. Insane. Very, very expensive. So how insane was it? Let's say for 200,000 property, they said I would be paying them back 900,000. Maybe 900 is exaggerating it. It's 50 plus 25. So we are looking at me paying them back around 600,000, 680,000, which is a lot. It's a lot. It sounds like nothing. 20 years is a long time. A lot can happen then, but it's too much money when you break it down to monthly installments. And the interest you would be paying, simply indicating that I would be paying interest for a very long time. I might even need to consider refinancing or something of that sort. So I then disregarded both Standard Bank and ABSA, and I approached Better Bond. The person who advised me to approach Better Bond was my agent, the guy who was assisting both myself and the seller with the purchasing process. And I approached Better Bond. Better Bond claims that their services are free. I can attest that I was never charged anything. They applied to Nedbank, Standard Bank, ABSA, FNB on my behalf. And this is how I got to evaluate easily so the best bank to go with. And I chose FNB. Why? Because out of all these, Nedbank gave me a very good offer. Say the property is 200,000, they were offering me 300,000, which would allow me to do renovations or anything with the place if I wanted to. But I declined it because the amount upon completion of repayment, it was greater than the FNB one, and they were not providing or offering me a discount. yeah, amazingly, the interest rate between the net bank and the FNB, it was a slight difference, I think by 0.25 bits. So I don't understand much, but that's how they worded it out. And I cannot claim that the better bond agent could have maybe lied. No, because he sent all the documents to me as received from the banks. So I then went through with FNB through RMB, and so far it has been good. And even the entire purchasing procedure with FNB communication was clear. They gave me assessments to like see where I am, what knowledge may I need with purchasing as a first time property buyer, and so on. So they check you in terms of how knowledge are you with property, how where do you stand with the market? Are you actually buying what you like? Are you buying it just because, or are you buying what you like? And do you understand that you need to pay them back? Do you understand the money that you are getting, how it works, and so on? So that's what happened. And once I got the communication from the better bond guy, I went through it as said, and I had to revert to him, choose the bank that I will proceed with. It took at least 2 weeks for all this to be done. The applications to the bank, getting back communication, me approving that he can proceed with this specific um bank, and so on. I'm so sorry about the change of light. Unfortunately, I do not have my ring light, so I'm using my TV as a source of light. And now the background light that I was displaying on the TV, it has stopped. It's on YouTube, so it is now on an ad break. So that's why. Nonetheless, sorry. So within the 2 weeks, then we approached FNB, completed the application, sent through my pay slips, sent through bank statements, because now I'm with Capitec, so they need to assess my finances. Within a week's time after that, I got a call from a consultant from FNB, going through my finances with me, trying to understand what day do I get my salary, how do I get it, where do I work, all that information. It's more like verifications. So that's what happened within a space of a month. And from that point, then I learned something. And what I learned is, as a first time home buyer, I do not need to get all the money. I can use a thing called FLISP, and FLISP is more like subsidy. So, to explain it in layman term, it's the government assisting first time home buyers with their purchases, and depending on how much you earn, you get a certain amount. So the greater your salary, the lesser the amount. The smaller your salary, the greater the amount you may get from the government through FLISP. I'm going to shortly explain what FLISP is, and whilst I'm explaining, I'm gonna just display pictures, videos of my place. I'm going to ask that if you know where this place is, please do not say anything in the comments section. For privacy, for security purposes, I would appreciate to just keep it out of anybody's face, mouth, or anything. It may be that you are my neighbor or you live within the same estate or so on, but please just keep it to yourself respectfully. I would appreciate that. Let's watch the videos whilst I explain what is FLISP, how it works, how I got about it, and I'll be back with the last part of the video. So, FLISP stands for Finance Linked Individual Subsidy Program, which is South African based by the government, and it is actually designed to assist first time home buyers. To qualify, a FLISP applicant must be a first time home buyer. They should only earn a monthly household income between 3,000 rands to 22,000 rands to qualify. Qualifications is dependent on the person's income, as I've already mentioned. The subsidy amount varies, and once paid off, it can assist one with settling their transfer duties, bond registrations, as it did with me, and it can also be used to reduce one's bond amount. It has drastically reduced my bond principal amount from a monthly repayment of 7,800. I'm currently sitting on 4,489 rands 45 cents, and this is just an example of how FLISP can assist you when you are a first-time home buyer. So with the last part of the video here, I'm gonna touch on what happened after the entire offer to purchase FLISP and everything. And yeah, so I got a lawyer or an attorney appointed by FNB. It's their attorney. They were all the way in Alberton. I had to go there to sign documents. So some documents you cannot sign over email or online. You can't. You need to physically be there, have that meeting with them. They take you through every document and you agree verbally, even by signature, that you do understand what they are saying and you do understand what you're getting yourself into, and you sign the documents, they submit them. Now with these documents, some of them are online, but only the attorney can access them, so they cannot send you a link for you to access them and then you do everything online. And I had to go to Alberton, I think 3 if not 4 times. Very, very, very tiring, because for someone who doesn't have a car as myself, I mean, I used Uber all the way from Randburg to Alberton, or Krugersdorp to Alberton. We are looking at about 300 and something to go, 3 something to come back, or 2 something to come back. So it was too much. This is the time when I started feeling like this is not for me. I don't even want this place anymore. Is it possible to just pull out and not do anything? So the reason for the attorney that was appointed by the bank, it is to do the bond registrations. And there was another group of attorneys or lawyers. They were responsible for the transfer duties. So transfer duties occur when there's a transfer that needs to happen. I'm going to try to put down a definition on how it actually works, because for me to explain it, it would take some time. So I had an attorney group that was working with the seller. They were responsible for the transfer and to also submit for the registration of the bond. So bond registration is basically moving everything from the seller to me. So yes, it's like a tedious paperwork job where you sign countless times. I went to the transferring attorneys offices twice, and they are in Parktown, and the other guys which are with the bank, like I said, they were in Boksburg. No, I'm sorry, Alberton, not Boksburg, Alberton. So yeah, I did this during the month of September, October last year. And yeah, it was tiring, I don't want to lie, but we got it over and done with. Everything was submitted to the bank. The bank disapproved the first time documents that were signed with the bond registering attorney, and I had to go back again to sign, and there was one document that was not initialed and I had to go back again. One time I said, no, I can't do this. I honestly can't do this anymore. Could you please come through? Luckily he had a meeting at Monte Casino, so I'm like 10 minutes away from Monte Casino when I'm at work. So he came through to me and we did the document, and this time around everything was finalized. And yeah, after the signing of the bond documents and the transfer documents, they now have to reconcile, pack everything, file everything, and submit it to the tax office. And I don't know which division is also involved in this entire transfer and bond registration. But nonetheless, during that procedure, I think I waited for like 7 to 8 weeks for the transfer and the bond registration, and it is not done unless or until you pay the two invoices. So there's a transfer invoice and there's a bond invoice. So with the bond registration one, the bank gave me 50% discount. So I was supposed to pay a total amount of, I don't really remember, but I will put it down here. And for the transfer, I was supposed to pay this amount that I'm going to put on the other side. The transfer amount, I had to pay it in full, and the bond amount, I had to only pay 50%. So it's only once those two invoices have been processed that they are able to actually commence or proceed with the transfer and the registration. The place, I just want to give you a timeline. I found the place in June, and the bond registration was only completed in November, the 20 something of November. That's how long it is. And I only got access to the property in December. So you must just consider such things when you're buying property. It's not the same with everyone, but just for example purposes. And yeah, what I would say I've learned with purchasing this place is take time. It's very necessary to take time when you're doing such things. It's necessary to sit back and reflect. It really is. Because I would say most time we do things without understanding implications that may arise from doing them. And it's better to say, I don't know, I don't understand, take me through it, than to act like you know something. And Flisp really came through handy. It helped a lot because it paid the two invoices. Man, it really came through a very, very, very long and good way. I didn't know much about it. The person who actually introduced me to it was the man who I went to, the man who owned the second property that I visited, the one that I said I didn't like. He's the one who told me about Flisp, and I took that information from him and I ran with it with the agent that I was doing my sale with. And it's very beautiful. It's beautiful how I thought I was learning, but the agent was also learning from me because I did research, and I think I also made his life very easy because he didn't have to explain a lot of things to me. It's only then and there that I would ask for like simple explanations and so on. And the one thing that he gave me insight on was the necessity to view things that you are not happy with in property, to understand what is the seller's responsibility, what to request for, like things like requesting for the municipal account statement to see how far it is, because you do not want to find yourself buying property Gandhi, it's in areas with the city of Johannesburg or whatever municipal holder. And now you have to settle that amount because now it's registered under you. Once it's registered under you, it's your baby. It's your baby. To get levy account statements, to get insurance updates, all that jazz. To request for the place to be cleaned, to be painted, everything. And some things that I learned about, which I also asked for the seller to do before I got the place, before the bond registration as well. She was unable to do fairly because it's things that she sidelined for a very long time. So some things were impossible to fix and so on. She gave me some money to just say sorry and to also say I can add on to whatever that I have to fix those problems. And very grateful, very thoughtful person, if I may say. And yeah, In the entire procedure, I'd say I'm very thankful for the agent that God brought my way. Maybe that he didn't buy me a gift. I didn't have a whole hoo ha celebration or key transfer or key um handover rather. It was just a matter of meeting with him at the admin office, registering biometrics, registering myself as the new owner, and him giving me my keys. No bottle of champagne, no juice, no flowers, nothing. Nothing. But the point is just I got it over and done with. And yeah, it's just beautiful how it happened. It's an amount that I totally didn't qualify for, but with the people who were helping me with everything, I qualified for it. And at the forefront, God made it happen. I don't care who says what. Without God, that wouldn't have happened. And yeah, now I have a place and I have been renting it out. We will get into why I rented out the place immediately after buying it in a different video, but I have never stayed at the place. I literally purchased it, stayed at the old apartment, and instantly moved home. I have my reasons why. Eventually, I will get to stay at my apartment before I do anything with it. And yeah, most things I'm just leaving to God's hands. And I trust that He knows what He's doing with my life, He knows what He's doing with my visions. And there's a reason why I have these visions, they have been planted in me by Him. And yeah, I pray and hope that I get to learn that most of my girlies and my guys at a very young age are buying property, are buying cars, are buying, you know? Yes. I hope, I pray and hope that we all succeed. We will. We already are. The fact that we wake up every day is a point of success, isn't it? So, cheers to being property owners. And it's fine for you to doubt yourself, but don't doubt God. He's got you. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please do share if you have purchased property. What did you learn? Maybe somebody needs that information in the comment section just so they know what to do and what not to do. And I hope to make another video regarding what happened in the process of getting my keys, getting my place, and the renovations. Until next time, guys, I love you to the moon and back forever and always. Subscribe.